Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Crypto Marketing Insights with me, Yasha Harari. Today, I want to talk about a practical use case of blockchain technology that can actually help you in your marketing efforts. And that is an oft ignored or overlooked, although it's critical to every transaction, element of blockchain technology. When I say it's ignored, I mean by lay people who don't necessarily know how the tech works. But this magnificent feature I'm talking about is, of course, the timestamp. And why is it that timestamps are so important in blockchain? Well, timestamps offer you the ability to record a transaction in an immutable, uncensorable way that can be proven that the event happened at such and so time or was recorded at such and so time, right? At the very least, we have a recording of history or a recording of historical events, the blockchain. Now, how is this useful for marketing? Well, first of all, it's useful for marketing because you can actually record events like campaigns, work you produce, uh, tags, all kinds of information that you're tracking. You can record them on the blockchain, and then if, I don't know, God forbid your analytics tool goes down or something, you still have a recorded log of when events actually happened on the blockchain. Again, how is that useful? Well, you don't want to lose your data, right? Your data is kind of like your business's private keys, right? If you don't have your data, what have you got? Bubkas, right? That's the answer. So it's important to remember that timestamps are probably the most important, I would say, element in terms of general characteristics of any blockchain when it comes to marketing efforts. Because the ability to record something and to prove that something was done at such and such time is incredibly valuable for many different automation functions, many different marketing and sales functions, for reporting functions, for performance monitoring, for optimization, for conversion rate optimization. There isn't a single element of a marketing or sales funnel that you can show me that wouldn't be somehow improved by having a better immutable record of the data. Right? And you can see here that you've got several options for implementing this. It works with Python, works with JavaScript, works with Java. It works on calendars. It works. They have work. They work with the following companies. So a number of companies already use them. You can see there. There's repositories again. They're available. You can check it all out. Absolutely, definitely worth it. And they have a Twitter. You can follow them too on Twitter. It's down here. It's at Open Timestamps. So check out Open Timestamps. Check out originstamp.org, which is another website that offers free, trusted timestamping. Okay, you can timestamp your digital content. You can use it anonymously. It's free. You can prove that you were in possession of information or a file, as it says right here on their website, with a PDF or an image or a video at a specific time. Again, this is critically important if you're delivering data that's time sensitive and that it has to be delivered at a certain time, or that you're relying on data to be collected and recorded at certain times. This is important. If you're publishing anything like a website or anything like a data feed, this is important, right? If you're increasingly so, maybe it's not important to you today, but it will be increasingly important to be able to prove that certain things were done at certain times. And just using, the clock on various websites that can be manipulated isn't going to satisfy some people. They're going to require proof of time, and that can be done with blockchain and with timestamping. That's the whole point. And these guys let you do it even by mobile, with Google Play and with an Apple iOS app. And so there you go. They show their reasons for why it's important. They show you that they've done here more than 5.5 million timestamps, right? And they've done basically they've been so far not hacked and completely private. 100% privacy has been assured, and yeah, so they're another company that's or organization that's offering timestamps because they see the importance of this. But let's say you don't want to get into all the weeds of the technical stuff, but you just want a simple way to timestamp your simple website. Let's say you have a WordPress website, right? Like a lot of people have WordPress websites. Um, there's many different kinds of sites. Maybe you have a Wix website. Maybe you have a Squarespace site. Maybe you have a blogger. Whatever you have. This is just one example of how you can easily timestamp your own site. This one right here happens to be for WordPress, and there's a plugin called WordProof, which basically timestamps your content on the blockchain. It's free, and it lets you basically use the EOS IO blockchain to create timestamps and provide a custom certificate link with a front end pop up to display it. Right there, you can see the timestamp certificate validated by WordProof. Shows you a little certificate here when the document was posted, when it was modified, when's the proof date. Shows you all that. You can see that, view it on the blockchain, right? Now, why is this important? Well, because WordPress and other big CMSs are responsible for a vast majority of the content that gets published online. And if they're suddenly offering that you can timestamp your content, it's not because they don't think it's important, right? It's because they know it is very important as a future requirement of content, right? So keep in mind you can get these things for free. All these resources are posted in in the description below. There's also here information if you look through the setup on this page here about the plugin. It shows you how to create your Telos account, how to do all the step-by-step instructions you need to do basically. But I mean, it's really easy. It's a WordPress plugin. It's not too hard to figure it out. But go ahead and look that stuff up. And for those of you who do want to get in the weeds, here's an interesting one for you related to it. Querying Bitcoin blockchain using SQL. So this paper published earlier this year shows you exactly how to query Bitcoin blockchain with SQL. So if you're into hardcore data mining a bit and you haven't seen this particular document, again, the link is in the description below. It shows you all all the fundamentals about Bitcoin, or all the essentials about Bitcoin that matter in this regard, going over transactions, blockchain, etc. And it's a good in-depth paper that covers querying for SQL in Bitcoin, which is a very important topic. If you have an e-commerce website and you have SQL, like most websites do, right? Not all, of course, but databases are still quite popular. So whatever kind of database you're using, definitely check out this primer on doing that work if you happen to be technically oriented in the database space. And just remember, this is all possible because of Bitcoin, really. I mean, Bitcoin brought this technology to bear upon the marketplace. And so when you're doing, marketing for crypto related projects, whether it's Bitcoin or not, remember that the blockchain you work with, if it's compatible, with other blockchains, that's great. If it's compatible with Bitcoin, that's also great. If you want mass adoption as a marketer, compatibility is usually more effective than not being compatible, except in certain cases. We can see, of course, Apple, was famously not compatible with everything. But there's Apple versions of everything, right? So having the ability to timestamp on any device, on any platform, using the Bitcoin blockchain or any other blockchain that has timestamping, which is kind of the definition of blockchain to begin with, is something that shouldn't just be overlooked again as a minor element of the thing. If you're using blockchain for marketing, right? And again, it's not useful for everything necessarily in terms of speed, of course, right? But if you're doing certain things with blockchain that you need to certify, along the process of your marketing and your sales and your operations, then this is absolutely an important topic. And I just wanted to make sure that people who watch this video understand it and know where the sources are for the